Hi, good morning. This is Dana Diedolf, and I'm here in my office in Astoria, Oregon, and I'm looking out at the Columbia River with two big ships and a fishing boat. The river's a bit rough today, and the east wind has started to blow, but it's still a sunny, beautiful fall day. I want to talk to you today about tornadoes. Most of us know about tornadoes outside of us, and most of us have experienced lots of them inside of us. And if you have addiction issues, well, you know what I'm talking about. It's possible to spend, all kinds of time, actually a lifetime, being spun around by one tornado after another, slammed down onto the ground of your own life, and ever more confused. Well, one of the things that drugs and alcohol often are used for is to make that spinning ride less fast, sort of slow it down, have the experience of stopping it altogether, and dealing with the terror of being spun around so much. And I think often people who don't use chemicals for that purpose may be unaware that more often than not is one of the reasons for addiction, is that it works to sort of produce the illusion that nothing is spinning, or that it doesn't matter. Of course it does matter because, it doesn't work very well, and you need more and more to keep the spin going. And then sometimes people die in the tornado. And the other thing about tornadoes is that if you get very near to them, they pick you up. I mean, one person's tornado can pick another one's up, and then you have two tornadoes, and everybody's spinning, and everything's flying. And sometimes, when the person who is labeled the codependent, I don't know how to talk about these things without the labels or the words which we're familiar with, but each of those words, of course, have a lot of misunderstanding in them, Words like codependent or even addict or alcoholic can give you the feeling that once you've got it labeled, you can just forget about it and handle it. But really, those words, if you use them like that, they really make it quite impossible, because then they just sound like blame, and they carry the illusion that really it's not a complicated thing. And it's easier to live more simply if you know how complicated it is, and if you know that there is a way to learn how to get out of the spin, how to get out of the tornado. The interesting thing is, and I think this is an emerging awareness with human beings, that the ability to do that is with us all the time. And one of the ways to do that isn't to look for a way out of the tornado so much as to look at what's actually happening inside of you. Mindfulness meditation is a wonderful approach, but lots of folks are never going to sit on a cushion or even read a book. And that's okay. People have different kinds of lives. But at any moment, you can learn, when you have a powerful spin starting and a tornado starting, instead of to resist that, which tends to really increase the flow or throw a lot of things into it, like what a bad guy or crazy person you are, or how you need to fix somebody else. But if you just look at the spinning thoughts in your head, but usually the head's not a good place to go first, you can usually feel the spin starting in your body, maybe in your chest, maybe in your head, maybe in your stomach, maybe in your back. And if you just notice that, instead of trying to get rid of it right away, just notice it. Well, the part of you that notices is in the eye of a storm. And there it's quiet, you can see. Maybe you can't make the storm stop, but you don't really have to, because you're safe. And that places the awareness within you. And you can find that by looking at what's going on, not by trying to make it stop. And then when you see like a craving state start, or in my case, sometimes with family members, I've got some like really great advice, which they'd do well to ignore, since it's not bad advice, but it's really kind of answering my question instead of theirs, or, maybe it's not even my question in the first place, because by then I'm in my own tornado, But when I can see that, then then I can see what I'm doing, and I can, sometimes you can just follow a storm, and stay in the eye. I think fishermen know that when they're out. Anyway, it's really kind of a cool thought that you don't have to take on the tornado. Ever grab a tornado? Well, I have. But then sometimes storms, if you stay in the eye, they just lose momentum. If you see what's happening, and then you're safe. Anyway, I hope you have a really good day, and if you've got a tornado going on, well, see if you can see it, and then you'd be in the eye, and then you'd be safe and you wouldn't be spinning. It'd be spinning inside of you, but it is so different to have a tornado in you and be safe than to be inside the tornado. Bye. See ya.